Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 84 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host, Risky the Kid, and joining me this week for a very, very special episode are my co-hosts, Chocolate Bear.
Hello.
Moose.
What's up, friends?
And some of the community sprinkled in throughout the show. Today's episode is our Game of the Year episode, the second annual Cross Atlantic Gaming Game of the Year episode. I think you guys are in for a treat. It was a good one last year, and I think this one will be just as good, if not better, right?
Yes,
Always
sir.
better.
Always better. It's supposed to get better, right?
Yeah. The more you listen.
Well, it's hard to come off of last year's, game library too, though. So it's okay
That's
to have
true.
down years. That makes the up years better.
Yeah, so we may have less quality games to talk about, but hopefully the show's still good.
Yeah, but I look back and, I played 40 games this last year, so couldn't have been that bad.
They're all games that came out this year.
Yes, sir.
That is impressive.
I know. I was surprised.
If only there was an easy way to figure all that out, huh?
I know. Yeah, there's not a comprehensive list anywhere that I could find easily. So I basically found 5 or 6 different lists and went through all of them and made a list of all the games I played this year, and it tallied up to 40.
That's crazy.
Yes, sir.
Just need something that holds all of our libraries in one spot.
No, I just need more hours so I can finish 40 games a year.
That's impossible. Nobody can do that.
Well, if you get paid for it as a job, possibly.
But that's true. I guess if it was your job to just play video games, you'd probably be good.
And you probably hate it, too.
Yep. Anyways, the format for tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, because it's our Game of the Year episode, we're not going to be doing news. We're not going to be talking about what we played this week. We're just going to be doing award show things, talking about our favorite games from 2019, having some community members chime in about their favorite games, and maybe hand out a few silly awards to some deserving games.
Some superlatives, if you will, for the year.
100%. But to start this party off, and I should say that these are in no particular order. We will go over our top 5 lists, as it were, at the very end. We're just going to kind of go through each game, talk about which ones people liked, that kind of thing. So, Moose, if you want to kick it off, give me one game that is in your top 5 this year.
One game from the list. Okay. Let's talk about Link's Awakening just a little bit.
Let's do it.
So, I never played this when it came out in, I think it was in the 90s on the Game Boy. So, it was all new to me, and it was just a pleasurable experience all around. The artistry in it, the graphics, everything was just cute and beautiful, and, it felt real nice. And the game was challenging. Not going to lie, used the Google a few times. But I don't know how you could do it without Google.
You couldn't have, because we were playing this game side by side, and it was just kind of like, Moose, I either need your help or I'm going to Google, because some of these puzzles are impossible.
To kill these bosses in a particular order in order for the door to open.
Exactly.
So Nintendo must have raked in the money back in the 90s with the Nintendo Hotline.
Oh, dude, the Nintendo Hotline and then the guides. Yeah. They used to charge like $40 or $50 for those guides.
That's why
it was almost as much as a game, I think.
It still blows my mind that those companies that make the actual hard copy guides are still in business when the internet is a thing. It's crazy.
Exactly. Well, some people just like it for nostalgia and having it as a collector's item type deal.
That's true. Either way, Link's Awakening, what a remake for sure.
It was great. Yeah.
Good deal.
Bear, did you get a chance to get a hold of that game at all, or see it or anything?
I haven't. I need to, but so many games have come out this year.
Right.
I kind of let that one go past me. I was what was I playing? I was playing the first Links, or the first Zelda game.
Oh yeah, because they just dropped that on the Super Nintendo. Download, whatever it's called. It's like the Nintendo Arcade, but they don't call that it anymore.
Yeah, and do you know what?
Nintendo
I haven't even finished that.
Online. Sorry, Bear.
No, it's okay. I haven't even finished that. I don't even think I got past the first castle. So, I'm a bad person.
So you only have a few more Zelda games to get through, and then you can play this one.
Exactly. One day when I hit probably 50 or 60.
Perfect. All right, so game number 1 off the list, Link's Awakening. That's a good one, Moose. All right, next up, let's hand it over to a member of the community to give us their top 5 from 2019. Here you go.
Hey guys, Ledonian here, doing my Game of the Year awards for 2019. Odd year in gaming for me. Did not get to play as much as I normally would. Becoming a dad kind of held things up, but here we go. All right, in number 5, I got Anthem and Division 2. Both these games kind of have a special place in my heart. I loved Anthem for about a 3-week period. Feeling like Iron Man has never been better in a game. Division 2 I was a fan of as well, but unfortunately I became a dad like 3 weeks after it came out, so did not get to put nearly as much time as I would have liked. Number 4, Apex Legends. This game surprised me. When I first played it in the first day, I didn't really like it that much. There was too much going on. The gunplay felt sloppy, but as the seasons progressed, I had more and more fun. And it's always good not to have building. Now that Fortnite you have to be a master builder, like the Lego movie. All right. Number 3, Mario Maker 2. So I always wanted to own the first one, but I never owned the previous Nintendo. And so I got Mario Maker 2 because I've never been good at platformers ever in my life. So I've played Mario 64, Galaxy 1 and 2, and Odyssey. Those are the only Mario games I've ever beaten. And so I was always embarrassed how bad I was at old school Mario games. And so I got this game to hopefully help me become better. And it worked. I'm now decent at Mario platformers and, yeah, having fun doing it. So number 2, I thought about putting this at the game of the year, but I played one game more. So Pokemon Sword, new Pokemon game that actually challenged me. Encountering new Pokemon was fun and exciting, and even though they told you how to beat opponents with effective moves and stuff like that, you still had to have that Pokemon on your team. So I thought it was fun. Really enjoyed it. Pokemon Sword and Shield, awesome games. And my game of the year is Dauntless. This one Moose got me to jump into, and I really had no idea what it was. And honestly, I played it way more than I thought I'd ever play it and had so much fun doing it. I loved how it was cross-platform, free to play, always stuff to do, and it looked great. It was fun. It's all you need in a game. So Dauntless is my game of the year. Special mention goes to Star Wars. I haven't yet gotten a chance to play the game yet. So Fallen Order will be a Christmas gift, hopefully. And yeah, I will let you guys know what I think of it when I get it. So everyone have a great holiday season. Happy New Year, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
All right, so Dauntless taking the number 1 spot for Ledonian. I was not expecting that. I'm going to be honest, I completely forgot that game came out this year.
Yeah, I played it for
and I actually
month.
I enjoyed it compared to Monster Hunter because it seemed easier.
Yeah, I think when it came out, we called it Monster Hunter Lite.
Yeah, which is exactly what I needed.
Yeah, so it was fun for I don't know, a month or so, but I think we got to the higher level monsters, and either we would get destroyed or we couldn't beat it or something, and I fell off, and I guess he stuck with it.
Good for him, and now you can play it on your Switch too. So
I know, everywhere.
That's
PC,
only working in his favor.
It's all platforms, and it's cross play, cross save, all that stuff.
Cross everything.
Yep.
Awesome. Good deal.
The way games should be.
Right.
Yeah, how all games should be.
I'd love, all games to be cross everything.
Yep. Well, hey, Ledonian, thanks for that. But moving on, let's hand out an award, Moose. What do you say?
All right. Let's go with our first award of the year goes to the best UPS simulator. Bear, you got an answer for us?
I have. Hang on. Oh, that was a little bit loud. Death Stranding.
That's right.
Come on down. Come get your award.
Congrats, Death Stranding, on your award. All right. Next up, Chocolate, tell us about one of your favorite games that came out this year.
So I am going to hit you with Gears 5.
Ooh, boy.
Yes. So it was gut-wrenching. A game that I really hated riding that skiff. Jesus. Shoot me now if I have to ever ride a skiff again. I'm not playing it. However, the story was emotional, heart-wrenching, no spoilers. But yeah, it was a really tough decision to make the penultimate in Act 4. Well, Act 3, wasn't it? And then you had Act 4. Yeah, so it was Act 3. You had to make a big decision, and it was tough. And I applaud the Coalition for a really good story. But if you put a skiff in Gear 6, I'm going to shove it straight up your...
Hold on, babe.
Bum.
Yes, backside. So yeah, the story was superb. It felt Gears. The gameplay, everything was Gears. But like I said, that skiff, that was probably the worst part of the whole game for myself.
And I'll say it probably had to be one of the best looking games that came out this year, for sure.
Oh, very good. They did. I think the way they contrasted the ice mission to going to the desert, those colours just worked really well and really popped as well. It was great, really good.
And this wasn't on your list, correct, Moose?
Correct.
All right, mine neither. Awesome, though. Definitely an honorable mention game for me. Yeah, Gears 5 is dope.
Make sure you play it, guys.
I didn't get deep enough into it, but I will, Bear. I promise.
It's hard doing the whole changing the way Gears plays. They've gone from kind of that very linear story, go from A to B, to this open world, which you have to do all the things in the open world anyway to progress.
All side missions to progress the story.
Exactly. It was a massive change. But yeah, like I said, the story was shadow of a doubt superb. Loved it.
Awesome. Gears 5, everybody. All right. Next up, let's throw it over to another member of the community for their top 5 of 2019.
Hey everyone, Cabo here, and I would like to give you all my top 5 games for 2019. Starting at number 5 with The Division 2, Gears 5 at number 4, Pokemon Shield at number 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake at number 2, and my game of the year for 2019 goes to Fire Emblem Three Houses.
All right. And if you're familiar with our last year's Game of the Year episode, you will know that Cabo is coming at you with something short and sweet.
Yep, man, a few words. Thanks, cops.
And this time accompanied by a jet engine. Love you, Cobbs. Fire Emblem. Heck of a game. And maybe we'll be talking about it later. We'll see. All right. Moose, it's time to dish out another award.
Alrighty. The next game award is going to the best value in gaming. I wonder who's going to win this one, Bear.
Well, this was a tough decision. I'm just going to open my envelope. And believe it or not, it's Game Pass. Congrats.
What a shocker.
Some might say the best value in gaming.
Yeah, I explain it as a Netflix of Xbox to people. And they're like, oh, really? Awesome. That sounds awesome.
It is. 100%.
It really is.
Congrats to Game Pass on your award.
I was actually talking to my nephew earlier today, and he's like, I'm actually surprised how many games I played in Game Pass this year that I wouldn't even, try or check out unless it was in there.
Yeah, and just with their first party stuff all being in there, it's just, whew,
Right.
Can't beat it.
Oh, definitely. So good. And the rewards to boot as well. Helps so much.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So let's dive into another game. This time, we're coming my way. And that game that I want to talk about is Control. Some of you may have seen this one coming, but Control is definitely one of my top 5 games of the year. I think coming off of Star Wars and then playing this game did a lot for me because the movement and all of the abilities you had in this one, even though they closely mirrored Fallen Order, a lot of ways they did things better, and the game felt smoother as a whole. So it had that going for it. It was an action platform, or not an action platformer, a action adventure game,
Right.
from the third person perspective. Just it's my favorite thing ever. And the story is really what sold me. You were this girl, Jessie, who shows up at this oldest house thing, and it's this place that it keeps transforming and changing, and the whole game takes place inside of this one building that's constantly changing its shape and expanding.
Right. It's the Bureau of Control, right?
Yeah, the Bureau of Control, the FBC.
Yeah. Different, yeah.
So not only did you have a great setting, the story hurt my brain, and I think that's great when I fall into a new story that I haven't seen before or even come close to seeing before. There was a ton to explore narratively, and then the abilities were great, like I said, and then you had this thing called the service weapon, which is another neat thing that has different forms that it can take.
Right.
And that's the best part about it, is it can turn into a pistol, it'll turn into like a sniper, a machine gun, shotgun. So you just had this one weapon, and there's like a lot of lore behind the weapon. It wasn't just a weapon that can change shapes for the sake of it being a weapon that can change shapes. It's like once you became the director, that was the weapon that you got.
Isn't that the same way a lightsaber works as a Star Wars not aficionado?
More Harry Potter.
Or
The wand chooses you.
having the wand that
chooses
chooses.
you,
Yeah,
same
that's
deal.
probably a better correlation there.
God, you guys are such nerds.
Parallel. The wand chooses you, Harry. But yeah, for those reasons, Control is definitely up there for me.
You forgot to
Fantastic
mention
game.
that it's a scary ass game.
It is creepy.
That
It
definitely
isn't
play this
scary.
one with like a good surround sound system or good headphones, because there's all sorts of noises and I don't know, things behind you in this game.
There are some voices, lots of voices in your head.
And they're from all directions.
That's
Kind of
true.
like what is it? Senua's Sacrifice, Hellblade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chocolate still has nightmares.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I think I'll be passing on Control.
I can't be dealing with any more
I'm
voices
still-
in my
yeah.
head.
It's like I'm still arguing with the ones from the last game I played.
Got enough of
Exactly.
them.
I can't evict them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree though. Control's a good game.
Gotta finish
Definitely
it.
Check it out. I know I need to. I gotta finish a lot of things, dude.
Don't we all? But yeah, Control. All right. Next, let's throw it over to another member of the community.
Hello, this is Chester from the Cross Atlantic Gaming Community. I've been asked to give my top 5 games of 2019. Now, I must say, these games didn't necessarily release in 2019. They're simply the games that I have played the most of this year. Coming in at number 5 has to be Pokemon Go. This is always on my phone. I kind of come and go from it throughout the year. Sometimes I play it intensively, other times hardly ever touch it, but it's still there. In at number 4 is another mobile game not many people have heard of. It's called Orna, that's spelled O-R-N-A. It's a little known RPG, GPS, a little bit of augmented reality. You can capture your local area, you fight monsters. It's got very much an earlier Final Fantasy feel to it. It's not, well, there is an element of payments in it. It's only cosmetic, and it's certainly not a pay-to-win game. In at number 3 is The Division 2. I have had hours upon hours of playing this game with the community. I've particularly enjoyed playing it with Chocolate. The time that he disabled his own grenades, didn't realise he disabled his own grenades, and then complained for a night and a half is a particular highlight for me. And at number 2, again, it's a very old game, but I'm still coming and going from it. It is EVE Online. My character, I named her after my wife. I used my wife's real name as the character name, and she is a bit of a pirate. So I'll occasionally drop into EVE Online. Somehow I've managed to accumulate billions of ISK, and I just cannot spend it quick enough. And in at number 1, I'm still playing it, although it's been out for a few weeks now, is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Certainly it's the best game I think has came out of EA for some time. It's certainly not a finished game, but on this occasion I think it just lacks some polish, and hopefully that will be fixed with the future patches for the game. So that's my top 5 for 2019. I'm wishing you all a very happy 2020 when it comes.
All right, Jedi Fallen Order. If this doesn't show up on some other lists here, then I don't know what you're listening to at this point.
Yeah.
Good list. And so, hey, some mobile games in there. I'm a big fan of mobile games, so good list. I like it. All right. Time to hand out another award. Moose, what do we got next?
All right. I think I might have found this one, but we'll see who the winner is. Best Spider-Man cameo this year. Remember, it can't go to Spider-Man on the PlayStation because that was last year's game.
Do you call it a cameo at that point?
Sure.
And the winner is Jedi Fallen Order. That's right.
Go check out my Twitter feed. You will see a Spider-Man crawling through the caves in Jedi Fallen Order. That's the only explanation I have, and I haven't gotten any other ones, so we're going to stick with it. What do you guys think?
I was surprised to see when you shouted that out and said, there's Spider-Man there. Look, I've got the clip. I remember doing that level, and then I remember seeing something just run by me.
Right.
And I had no idea. And you capturing it, yeah, just...
And
it's ridiculous.
If you do go to Moose's Twitter, definitely check it out. The first time I watched the video, though, I watched it. I was like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. And then you gave me a timestamp, and I was like,
yeah,
yep, that was Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure.
If I remember correctly, I want to say it's like 16 seconds. So
yeah, that sounds right.
yeah,
you have to watch it and rewatch. You have to watch it a few times to get the whole, because he does just crawl up round.
It's literally for like
off.
1.5 seconds of frames, and that's it.
Yeah. I do think you can Google, because I'm sure I Googled it afterwards, and I'm sure Respawn mentioned something about an Easter egg and Spider-Man
Okay.
in the game. But I would have never have bothered looking unless you spotted it.
Right.
So congrats on you. You can accept this award on their behalf.
Oh, well, I'll go ahead and do that then. I'd like to
Brilliant.
thank everybody. And that's about it.
All right, let's talk about some more games. Moose,
Yes,
what
sir.
is next on the docket?
This one's coming off the Switch.
Ooh, all
this
right.
is a game all three of us played and finished, I believe.
Oh, go on.
Go on.
Listen to Bear, so excited. Katana Zero is in my top 5 this year.
Hey, and I think we can all officially say that this is on all three of our top 5s then.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
It was also
a
on
great
mine.
game.
Oh, the game was amazing. Absolutely hit all the right spots, didn't it?
Yeah. It perfect length and time too is what, about 15, 20 hours to complete the game. And
Yeah, which is a breath of fresh air.
right. All these 80-hour RPGs that they put out now.
It was
Or
just
3 or 4 weeks for me.
yeah, right. Beat it in a weekend. Took chocolate a few months.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this game. I mean, if you're into action platformers, which that's there's a lot of action. There's a lot of killing in this game. But some of the powers you have that I think are worth mentioning. You can slow down time. Cool. You've seen it before. But in this scenario, your weapon of choice is a katana, where you can be constantly hitting bullets back at your enemies. So that plays like a huge part of it. I think that is probably my most fun thing that I would do in that game, would be to bust into a room, slow down time, and just start smashing bullets back into the people that were shooting them at me. So fun.
It was a great game. The art style was beautiful as well. It was 16-bit, but with that nice purple and...
It's like cyberpunky.
Yeah, and I didn't want to say cyberpunk because
Or
I think I've mentioned
Hotline
cyberpunk.
Miami
Like,
type.
yeah,
Just
it's
neon colors on dark, contrasting base. The game just pops.
Yeah, it was really nice, and it had a nice little story to it as well, which was a nice surprise.
The story was a
come
little
to the
bit
end.
off the rails there, Bear. It was a little bit crazy.
I mean, it definitely was, but when you kind of like take a step back and look at it, it was like this dude is a contract killer, and
It all comes together at the end, right? Well, you figure, after you beat the boss and everything, you figure everything out as far as the reasons why you were put under, right?
yeah, and like that's the cool thing that you're working toward, because you're taking these contracts to go kill people, and then you're getting rewarded with the Chronos, I think was the name of the drug.
That sounds familiar.
Right.
And like, so it's this drug that's keeping you doing their bidding, but it's also like your guy needs it.
Right.
So you keep doing these contracts to get this drug, and then
it's almost like his brain is wiped after every time he does something, and he's got to go back to, just get back normal.
yeah, and he's slowly just kind of piecing back together how he got the way he was. So you
Right.
kind of have that whole story element in the past going on while you were just trying to essentially stop anyone that has anything to do with Kronos is what they're having you do.
Right.
So I think that's one thing you don't see a ton with these type of games that are just like these platformers where you're hopping around just murdering everything. You usually don't have like a decent story at all. So this was definitely a breath of fresh air, and it played so well. And we were playing it on the Switch. It probably performs even better other places, but
Is
I
it
thought
on
was
other
fine.
platforms?
I guess that was just me assuming.
I don't remember. It may be.
Fact check. I'll do that now.
But yeah, and I like the layout of the game as well, where if you get hit once, you're dead.
It's one time.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So the levels are made perfectly where they're all small enough where you could get maybe 15 seconds into it. It was kind of like trial and error, I guess.
Right. And it's all done on a closed circuit TV. It's basically what the screens are.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
like,
once you
do
level,
the perfect run, you get to watch
they
it
send
all.
you a video. Exactly.
Yeah. It's also on Mac and Windows.
Okay, so
Okay,
PC.
so you
and
can play it on
Switch.
PC too.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katana Zero though. What a game.
Beautiful. It's on sale now as well.
Yeah.
So if you listen to this now, I think it's on their Nintendo's big, huge sale they've got at the moment, which probably runs till, I want to say, till the new year.
Yeah, and I think it knew it was $20 or $25, so I'd say you probably catch it around the $10 mark right now.
Yeah.
And I would say even if it's not on sale, well worth buy it.
Right.
$20-$25.
No doubt.
For sure.
Oh, definitely.
It's worth that. It's basically $1 an hour entertainment. So
Yeah, and it's the perfect Switch game because, like I said, the levels are cut up to be like small, so you could like knock out a level or two, like knock out a whole contract and have a
Right.
perfect place to like set it down, come
yeah,
back.
it's a good pooping game.
It is a great pooping game. It should have gotten an award for that. If it's not here, I'm gonna be upset.
Oh no! I guess we'll have to talk to the Academy for next year.
Too funny. But yeah, all right, Katana Zero. We're obviously all big fans of it. All right, hey, let's throw it over to another member of the community for their 2019 Game of the Year list.
Hey everybody, Rocker here, your resident achievement junkie of the cross-Atlantic gaming community, and I'm here to talk about my top 3 games of the year. Now, if you remember from my CAG voice debut earlier this year, I've been focusing on Metroidvanias this year, and there's no doubt that they encapsulated my top 3 games this year, probably top 5, maybe even top 7. But my top 3 games this year are Guacamelee 2, Time Spinner, and the vastly known title to all of you as Super Epic. Now, as I mentioned, all 3 of these are Metroidvanias. You have probably heard of 2 of them, one being Time Spinner from the Game Pass Roulette days, and the other one being Guacamelee 2. Came out in January, so it's been quite a while, but a very, very solid game. While each very good in their own right in this genre, I think I would have to give it to Super Epic for the humor, the parodiness of the gaming industry, because if you didn't know, you are a raccoon riding a llama, taking over the evil, greedy corporation of pig executives that produce free-to-play games, the utter stool of the gaming industry. And yeah, it's a fun time. So drop those first-person shooters, those 60-hour narrative story games, find the weird, grab the Chivos, and let's play some games.
All right, I think it's safe to say that I had never heard of that game.
No,
and
I'm
even
trying
after
to-
having it described, I still have no idea what he's talking about.
I'm trying to look it up right now to figure it out.
Oh, I tried to have a look for it and I couldn't find it. But
Sounds like a
knowing
lot of
Rorka-
satire.
Yeah, it's 16-bit It looks pretty cool, actually.
Well, hey,
do.
super epic. That's what he said, right? Super
Yeah,
epic?
super epic.
Yep.
Okay, super epic. Go check it out. I haven't heard of this one, and I love me a good Metroidvania.
Right.
So
This one might be in our library now. Thanks, Rocker.
thank you, Rocker. Great list. All right. We have another award to hand out. Man, how many of these things do we have? Moose, what award's up next?
Oh, let's see. Let's go with the next category is going to be best game mechanics, but with no game included. So, Bear, do we have many games in this category?
We had one clear, distinct winner.
Okay. Do you even need to open the envelope?
I mean, let's
to
be
make sure.
honest. There was only one game. It was mentioned earlier.
Right.
Anthem, come on down. Well, don't even
No,
bother
they're
getting
still
up. Just
busy
sit
working
there.
on the game.
We'll post it.
Yeah, finish your game.
Exactly.
We'll send you. We'll mail you the award.
Oh, as soon as I heard Ladonian put it in his list, I was like, oh, man, we made a joke award about this.
Yeah.
Whoops.
It had so much potential that first week or weekend. I just remember everyone being so hyped, so pumped.
Pretty sure that's where the garbage monster was created.
It possibly was, I think.
No,
I
100%
think-
was. That was like 70 hours
It was
in 3
gross.
days.
You didn't shower for like a week.
It's just disgusting. So congrats to Anthem for their very prestigious reward.
35-hour slog and 34 hours that you did. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow. No pot of gold, right?
Yeah, you can only smash your head against the same content for so long.
So, well, hopefully
Congrats,
in
Anthem.
2020 is the year of Anthem, right? Let's hope.
Anthem 2?
No, they're still working on it. They said it's not dead. They promised.
They're not going to give up, no matter
No.
how many higher ups they lose from the company. And
Exactly.
game directors leave, and RIP.
So, congrats on half-baked games.
Shout out to you, EA. All right. Let's get into another game that we actually enjoyed this year. And maybe Anthem is actually on one of your guys' lists, because that'd be pretty funny. Chocolate, what's up next in your list?
I guess there can only be one game coming out at the beginning of the year that I'm going to talk about, and that's
boy.
Apex Legends.
There was no way you
Yes.
weren't
Yeah.
going to... The Apex Legend, there was no way this wasn't in your top
I was
5.
gonna say.
I have to say, last 6 months has been pretty rough. I haven't really been playing it, but that initial launch from Apex with what I think a tweet or an announcement, and an hour later the game was out. The game blew my mind.
Right.
Loved every second of it, and the fact that I didn't have to build a goddamn fortress of solitude to try and win.
Oh, my
So,
God.
Or jump out of a helicopter, right, Bear?
or yeah, I mean, Jesus,
You
I
still
can't
jumped
land
out
to
of
save
something,
my life.
but they had that team drop ability so that you could just
They did,
ride
and-
on coattails as you love to do.
And you can also pass the buck. I enjoyed that too.
Yep. Pass the buck and then blame them when everybody dies, right?
Exactly. It was all my landings, rolled into one. But I loved the game. It had that Titanfall feel. The difference in Legends, dropping season 2 with the map change as well was brilliant. They gave Fortnite a run for their money at one point, and
They really did when that first came out, and you had like the biggest streamers who, as come to find out, were paid, but
Yeah.
still, them playing it on like the day that it dropped, it's nothing we had ever seen.
Yeah.
no,
That's a
and
great
I think that's
guerrilla marketing tactic, right? All of a sudden, just all the top
100.
streamers are just playing this game, then you can go download it right now.
100%. And I think from doing that, to obviously Fortnite took a big smash on the chin, and Fortnite did what Fortnite does best and pinched, or borrowed, I should say, some cool mechanics from the game, and then done their roadmap and took back what they had to do. But I think this is just going to only be better for the Battle Royale genre, with Apex Legends and Fortnite kind of battling it out, in air quotes, to hopefully push better content to us.
Well, I
Do we
think
eventually just get a game of all the battle royales just
all the
in
best.
a battle royale?
Yeah,
Oh God, could you imagine? Yeah.
but I think Apex changed gaming this year. You know, I think weren't they the first game that has a true ping system? I know that Battlefield had something similar. You can mark enemies, but you know, you can mark anything in this game. And I think
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah, you
adapted
could-
that super quickly after it came out. They're like, "Oh, that's a thing. We can do that," and it showed up in just about every other game about a month later.
Borderlands 3 was a big one with all the pinging
With-
Right.
that came out after it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw someone was talking about this game, and they were saying this is the best cooperative game that you can play without actually talking to anybody
Yep.
whatsoever. You know, you use that ping system to
Yeah.
mark your players, and you don't even have to talk to
No,
randoms.
you can
It's-
call
it's
dibs.
beautiful.
Yeah, you can call dibs on items. You can call out different. You can tell people you need a certain type of ammo, all sorts of stuff. That you know.
Yeah,
I think.
I mean-
that's when Risky and I were playing a lot of Blackout at the time, and literally on the next update, all these features were part of the game.
Like the auto equip, I think came shortly after. Because that was
Right.
another thing that they introduced. Is
Yep.
like if it's on the ground and you just hit it, like it goes right onto whatever gun it can go onto.
Yeah, it was perfect. I think they streamlined so many things, and simplified, and it was easy for me. I couldn't get on with Blackout, but I got on with this perfectly. So very happy, and that's why it's in my top 5.
And you still have more wins than me, I think, and probably will forever. So congrats.
How many you got
Good,
there?
finally did it.
'Cause I think I got like 5 or 6.
I would have to.
He lost track, dude.
Yeah, I've got so many. I'm sure I'm in double figure.
Double figure.
Yeah.
Like the first or second double
Yeah,
figure
the
that
one
there
it
is.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 10, maybe teetering on 8.5. I don't know. Anyway, I'm an Apex legend.
I need to get
Let's
back
move on.
into it. I haven't played since the new map, so I definitely need to check it out.
Yeah, I'll be happy to jump in with you. Like I said, love that game. Love it.
All right, Apex Legends on the actual Apex Legends list.
Imagine that.
Makes sense. All right, let's throw it over to another member of the community.
What is up, guys? Chaotic here with my 2019 Game of the Year list. Coming in at number 5, we have the PlayStation exclusive Days Gone. Visually, an absolutely stunning game, but does get a little bit repetitive after a while. Number 4, we have Division 2. Fantastic game if you're playing in a squad, but it can get a little bit grindy at points. Number 3, we have Gears 5. Fantastic looking game and a fantastic multiplayer as well in this game. Number 2, we have Pokemon Sword or Shield. It's not quite as strong as the originals, but definitely the best of the newer generations. And number 1, no surprise coming from myself, it's Borderlands 3. By far the best in the series. The gameplay is super smooth in this game, and the gun mechanics are absolutely fantastic. So that's mine. Borderlands 3, surprise, surprise, game of the year for me. You can keep your isometric Metroidvania roguelikes to yourself, Moose and Risky. Personally, Borderlands for the win. Hope you've all had a great 2019. I look forward to hearing from you in 2020. Catch you later, guys.
Superb.
Very nice. So I'm pretty sure we all knew that was his game of the year before the game even released, right?
Yeah, I've never seen somebody so hyped up for a game before it was even out. So
But I think it might have lived up to its hype as well. So, which I didn't see coming.
No, I think that it took, when I first played it, it took me by surprise. I still yet to finish it, which is bad on my part.
Boo.
I know, but the game it feels good, it's fun, it's enjoyable.
It's one of the best co-op shooters out there for sure, and probably best co-op loot and shooters. To be fair, the amount of loot in that game is just immense, to say the least.
Yeah, no
A
doubt.
bazillion guns?
No, there
Just-
was
it-
a bazillion. I think is the right number.
Exactly 1 bazillion. All right, thanks for that, Chaotic. All right, let's hand out another award. Moose, what's up next?
Okay, this award goes to the most mischievous waterfowl. Bear.
And your winner is The Untitled Goose Game. Quack, quack.
The goose from the
quack,
Goose
quack.
Game. Imagine that.
This game is so weird.
I need to download it, but I'm wondering if it might not be a Game Pass roulette game, so I've kind of been holding off.
Hold off, ladies and gentlemen. You might be looking at a winner here. All right.
Quack, quack.
All right, let's get into some more games. Who's up next? I'm up next. What do we want to talk about? I think it's about time that we talk about some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
I'm for it.
Oh, this game's so good.
Yeah.
Is this on anyone else's list?
Yes, sir.
I have it.
Yep.
We did it. Our second three-piece of the night. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. What is there to say? It's an action adventure game from the third person perspective. Do you need anything else?
It's also
You
my
do?
introduction to Souls-like games.
It's definitely more of a Souls-like if you didn't play on baby mode.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Sorry.
baby mode was hard.
Chocolate, I played on baby mode with you. Don't worry.
And speaking of Ladonian earlier, I spoke with him over the weekend, and he's playing this on like super hard Jedi Master mode because that's
What a
how he
silly-
enjoys his Star Wars games.
No,
Said
don't
no
do
one
it.
ever.
I was like, yeah, you're never gonna beat this, then, dude. So good luck with that.
Like, at least run through it. If you know you're gonna do it on the hardest mode, do it on
Right.
the easiest mode first,
Just so
and
that
then
you
go
don't
and
miss
do
the
it.
story. Because I'm getting ready to switch. I'm like at the end of the game, but I am getting ready to switch to story mode because I finally beat.
Are you the one up above it?
Yeah, I finally beat the big animal thing in the cave. So
Okay.
I've got like one more boss fight left, but Bear informed me that I'm pretty much screwed unless I go to story mode. So that may happen shortly.
It is so hard. That final fight is tough on easy mode.
Yeah, it got
She gives you a good whipping.
it came down to a point where you couldn't just spam certain buttons
Right.
anymore towards the end of the game,
Kinda
even
like
when you're on
Sekiro.
easy mode.
Yeah,
And that's how you know that like
right.
this is as easy as I could possibly doing this, and I still have to actually be strategic about the way I'm playing. So I can't imagine what this is like on the hardest
Yeah.
mode.
Like if you,
Oh,
you don't
God.
time your button press exactly right, then you're dead. That's the way
Yeah.
I assume it is.
But yeah,
100%.
other than that, I think it was a great Star Wars story, especially with it being canon. Like it just kind of fits in perfectly.
But it's a new story too.
Yeah, completely new characters for the most part.
Yeah, BD-1 is my favorite droid out of all the Star Wars universe. So
I think that's fair. And like
He's
Star
awesome.
Wars nails droids.
Right.
Like they're all so good. And BD-1, he very well could be the best one
Mm-hmm.
ever. I do agree.
I do enjoy it. I did get a bit frustrated with the whole, the lockbox things.
there's really no point to him. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt very. I think I got halfway through and I was a bit like, well, I'm kind of happy with my lightsaber. I'm kind of happy with the color of my droid. I'm happy with my ship. Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as side content goes, whatever. They could have just not done
those in,
anything,
right.
and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the story's good. I think the voice acting and the casting, I didn't have too many problems with. Cal, the main
Yeah.
character, was only tough for me because he's been in other things,
Right.
and I can't hold that against him.
Oh, he ugly, man. He ugly.
I didn't say it. My favorite character was probably the pilot.
Yep.
I thought he was so well done as a character. The pilot of the ship that's flying you around.
Yeah.
But I can't remember
he
the name
didn't
of it at this
take
point.
no shit from anybody, did he?
Yeah, he was old school. It was great.
I did really enjoy him. He reminds me of a character, not a Star Wars character, but he reminds me of a character, and I can't put my finger on it. He was just such a grumpy.
Oscar the Grouch
you say-
type character, yeah.
Yeah, and it was brilliant, and the way it kind of just fitted in with those two other main characters was really, really good.
Yeah, and I think that just the combination of having these force powers, having a great story, the game looked like I played on an OG PlayStation and I thought it still looked good, so I can't imagine what it looked like for PC or like Xbox One X
Oh, yeah, it was
people.
gorgeous. because it's
Yeah.
in 4K.
Really good.
And, all those. I just love all the, long out in the distance scenery scenes that, all the
That
different.
skybox.
Yeah, exactly. When then, all the different foreground, background, all the shadows, everything's just popping. It looks like you're just in that picture. You know what I mean?
It looks beautiful. You're fighting people with lightsabers, throwing
Right.
people off cliffs with force powers. It's Star Wars, dude. If you like Star Wars and you like that type of game, there's no reason at all for
Yeah.
you to not be playing this game.
Even if you don't like Star Wars, but like, Dark Souls games, this is one you shouldn't miss.
Or if you like the Tomb Raider genre, I think,
Yeah.
or like Uncharted.
Uncharted,
That's
same
kind of
thing.
how I handled the game.
You bet.
Either way,
Say
play it how you want.
story-driven games.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
depending on the difficulty.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
that's the coolest thing about it is they, they give you all those different choices as far as difficulty goes. So it's not like a Sekiro where if you can't beat the first guy, you might as well just trade the game in because it's not going to
Like,
get any easier.
you may never leave that
Right.
intro area if you can't beat the first boss.
Yes. So, this one has all, the whole spectrum of difficulties so that everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah. What a game. And we obviously all here at Cross Atlantic Gaming think it's a great game as well. Good for you, Star Wars. It's the very last thing I'll say is at a time in the Star Wars universe where everything seems to be so divisive, like as far as the
Right.
movies go, I don't hear a lot of people giving this game or its story negative criticism at
Right.
all.
And
And
it's-
that's perfect.
It's from EA, which is unheard of as well.
Yeah, there's what just happened?
Yeah.
My mind is blown.
EA made a good Star Wars game. It only took them, what was their contract for? 10 or 15 years?
This may have saved
Right.
them from having Disney be like, nah, you're never touching any of our stuff ever again. So,
Exactly.
This is why they made a good game, because the contract was up.
Under the
And
gun.
they can go, da-da!
look what we can do, and look what people will say about it. Good for them. All right. Next up, let's move into another community submission for Game of the Year.
Arrow Ben Kenobi here, and hey all you Cross Atlantic gaming friends. Happy holidays, and here's to 2019, another fine year in gaming. I don't feel the list of games I actually played is representative of the year. Heck, I'm still looking forward to playing Control, Modern Warfare, The Outer Worlds, and Void Bastards. I do miss the rush of multiplayer Blackout from last year, as I haven't got into Apex Legends. However, in the meantime, here are my top 4 of this year. The Division 2, Jedi Fallen Order, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and Forza Horizon 4 LEGO Speed Champions. All that said, there's no question my game of the year is The Division 2 for a few reasons. First, I'm into realism and love the Tom Clancy universe. And second, I love and appreciate the amount of detail that went into recreating DC. From trash piles to looking down Pennsylvania Avenue towards the Capitol building to running missions in all the buildings, the detail is impressive. Happy holidays, everyone, and here's to 2020. Thanks to Risky, Moose, and Chocolate for cultivating this great community. Thanks.
All right, Division 2. I think we could have seen that one coming. We all knew Ben loved that game.
Oh, yeah. And, you can't disagree with any of his points either. DC was a fun town.
DC was a great place to
Some of those
for this
missions.
to take place. And then I feel like at some point Ben actually went there because he sent us some pictures
Yeah,
from
that's
DC.
right.
It was like, I've shot people in this area. You're like, don't text us that, Ben. They're
Exactly. Yeah,
listening.
especially when the government's watching you in the nation's capital. But yeah, you can't disagree.
Yeah, man.
Division was a great game.
Yeah, I think we all enjoyed it.
It improved on everything from the Division 1, I think. And it's tough to do that nowadays. I feel like it's improving literally everything. So
Yeah.
Division 2,
And they
I can
didn't,
dig
you
it.
know, they kept everything that was good about the original Division and improved upon it, as opposed to, some games, i.e. Destiny 2, just decided to start over from scratch and have a terrible game for the first 2 years and then, eventually go back to what they thought was good or we thought was good, and now
Exactly.
you can't get Risky away from it.
Get it off of me. Ben, thanks for the submission. But on to another award for the night. What do we got, Moose?
All right, let's see. This one is going out to the best 1.0 paid beta launch. So, let's see who it is, Bear.
And your winner is... oh, I thought it was Anthem. Sorry, it's Stadia.
Wow,
Can we play Anthem on Stadia?
that would be...
That's all I've ever wanted.
I was going to say, can you play anything on
Is
Stadia?
that like true Inception?
Yeah, exactly. It's a game inside of a game.
Playing the half-baked game inside the half-baked gaming system.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So yeah, congrats Stadia. If you ever get your thing off the ground and running, we'll get you this award.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. All
But
right.
thanks to Stadia, we got 50 more 50 games added to Xbox, didn't we?
That's
on
true.
their
xCloud, yeah.
xCloud. Thank you.
How
Gotta love a
Stadia's
good
doing
pissing
things. Here's 50
contest,
more
right?
games.
Yeah.
Gaming industry pissing contests are the best pissing contests because we all benefit from it. So
No
Keep
doubt.
keep on having your contests. All right, back to the games. Moose, give us another one on your list.
All right, I'm getting controversial on you guys. I'm gonna do it.
Uh-oh.
This is
I'm excited.
expansion DLC material, but it's enough to count as a game to me. So Shadow Keep is in my top 5 this year.
Hallelujah. Yeah, it's also in mine. If we weren't doing DLC, I will say after Ben's last little thing, Division 2 was right on the cusp for me.
Right?
But
Yeah, me too. It was in my honorable mentions for sure.
it's tough to not give some praise to the expansion that brought us back.
Brought you back.
So
Brought me back. It kind of never left.
Nah,
So go
Hit me,
for it.
guys.
but I was always just
Tell me,
dabbling
tell me.
single player, and I'd finish the campaign story and be like, okay, well, I guess I'm waiting till next season now.
Guess I'm done
Yeah.
now.
Didn't know there was a whole nother game to play inside Destiny. Holy cow.
So tell me about Shadowkeep. I have not touched this thing. I've got no idea.
All right, I think Risky should explain it to you if he can. Is he around?
Yeah. I mean, it's more Destiny. You know what you're getting at this point with these expansions. It came with a raid, came with a bunch of new missions, new weapons, a thing called a dungeon. This is only the second one, but it's somewhere in between like a normal strike and a raid. So if you have a little less time, like I think we just beat it in.
It's like 2 hours or just under.
No, it took us like an hour and a half for a long time,
Yeah.
but we're down to like 37 minutes now.
Oh,
Is
jeez.
our fastest
Wow.
time going through it. So once you kind of learn them,
Right.
obviously it goes a little quicker. But so it came with a new dungeon, all the new gear, new raids, and then also the season passes, which they've been doing for like a year now or something. This is my
This
first
is
time
the
jumping
second
into
expansion with a season pass.
second expansion with a
Yes.
season pass.
So,
Okay, so Forsaken.
No, after
had one?
Forsaken, they had a season pass that wasn't included with Forsaken.
Okay.
So-
So, I mean, that gives you kind of just something to grind for all season, which is 3 months generally, kind of like all these other games that are happening right now. But Destiny finally has one, and I don't know if that's what it is.
It's basically
or
a
if
battle
it-
pass. Think of it along those lines.
Exactly. Just having something to strive for. But then you're obviously always just gearing up to do the highest tier content. If you know what Destiny 2 is, I would say you know what you're getting yourself into with Shadowkeep. There's more story. This story is about the Hive and us going back to the moon to this thing called the Scarlet Keep, I think.
Yep.
And so there's missions based around that. There's strikes based around that. You're kind of diving into the origins of Eris Morn's fire team and how they disappeared. You're learning some things about the darkness. If you're into Destiny 2 lore, I think this is a really good DLC.
Yeah, and I think
Plus,
right now, I don't know if it's still on sale, but they had it on every platform. They called it like the catch-up pack or something like that. And basically it was
Oh, yeah,
all
I
the
do
DLC up to Season 9 for $33 or something like that. So
It's crazy. It's just it's such a good year for them because this is they broke off from Activision.
Right.
They introduced New Light, which is the free to play version of it. Armor 2.0. So now there's like more RPG elements with you actually tinkering with like your armor, where it used to just kind of drop, and then you're just looking for maybe a specific damage type or something like that. Now you actually slot in mods into each piece of armor, and there's just so much you can mess with, so much min-maxing you can do. If you're into that, you can still hang if you're not into that too. And it's just,
and
there's a lot of people playing it right now, and
it feels like they have so much like weekly content. It's hard to keep up with. There's always Iron Banner or some sort of season of something going on, or like it seems like every week there's some sort of activity going on top of the regular game.
Yeah, and they'll give you their like seasonal roadmaps as well, so you know exactly what to expect when. Like it'll be like, hey, there's a new exotic quest that launches on the 17th of this month, so people can kind of, in a limited way, get ready for something like that. Or if the first raid challenges are coming out, you can get ready for those. And it's just they're doing really well. They won the, was it best community or something at the Game Awards?
Best ongoing game or best
ongoing game.
Like that, yeah.
And it's just, so I'm getting into it. But then even when I look at my Twitter feed, it's people that I've talked to casually or whatever, and like I follow them obviously, but it just seems like a lot of people are getting into it right now, and I don't know if that's because of Shadowkeep, if that's because of the new light stuff, which
right. I think that's a great idea for them. You know what I mean? Just give 80 hours of free content before you have to pay a dime.
Yep. And so even though it was DLC, and that might be controversial, like Moose said, just the amount of like new life that came into this game with Shadowkeep and all the changes that are happening or have happened then and are going to continue happening, it's for sure Destiny's making a comeback. And if you're not playing it, hop into the free version, hit us up, and we're always down to play.
Yeah, it's like Jesse never touched it, right? And now you can't get the needle out of his arm.
Exactly. Or Shopa's another one.
Yeah,
there's
we're trying to get Dan over there. He's a little hesitant.
We need our ace in the hole.
Yeah, for PvP. I got to get me that recluse.
Yeah. Yeah, Shadowkeep though. I'm down.
Most def.
All right. Next up, let's hear from another member of the community.
Hello everyone, this is Viva Sweeney from the Cross Atlantic Gaming Community, and my top 5 games of 2019 are, in number 5, The Division 2. Really, really good loot and shoot. The graphics are sleek, and the combat system was really good. Pity I didn't get to do any raids this year though. In number 4, it's Europa Universalis 4, a game that I never thought I'd be into, but thanks to Moxilov for getting me into it. I really enjoy it. In number 3, it's FIFA 20. Does the FIFA King really have to say why that's number 3? I don't think so. And in number 2, it's a shock to me, is Apex Legends. A free battle royale with content coming out of its ears. What a game. Really enjoy it. And in number 1, there can only be one this year. That's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Really back to its old roots, with boots on the ground, running and gunning. You can camp if you want, if that's your style. I really enjoy it. The content's coming through every other week now with all the new maps. I really recommend it if you haven't played it. Hope you all have a great new year and a Merry Christmas. See you all later. Peace.
All right, the first shout for Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
It's a good shout. The guy is a beast. I played with him the other night on Gunfight.
Wow. Yeah,
Dan Pod's always posting clips.
Oh yeah. Did you see the one that he was
popping all the grapes?
Yeah, smashing all the grapes. That's one he posted this morning.
This one.
Just click the heads to win, I think is what he said the caption was.
It's the easiest thing ever. I don't know how we didn't all think of this.
Right.
This didn't make my list, and I don't think it made anyone's list.
I made my honorable mention. I think it might be on somebody's stuff.
It didn't make mine this year because I didn't play it enough. I hammered it hard for one weekend. That was that.
Did you finish the campaign?
No, I didn't.
No, jeez.
Jeez.
You're probably close, even if you just started it, because it's not long.
Yep. All right. Moose, give us another award.
All right. This year's Great Outdoors Moment. Tell us about that one, Bear.
And this goes to the one, the only, Fortnite. Today, Black Hole.
2-day Black Hole, huh?
Yeah, or maybe Fortnite 2 day. black
when
hole.
the internet lost its mind.
Yeah, when all the moms outraged.
If there was ever a better time to go outside, it was when the servers were offline for 48 hours.
I can't believe they had the cojones to do that.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe it. But, unreal. And props.
We're making, what, $500 million a month? So in November, they had made roughly $4.5 million, or billion dollars. I think they could do without 2 days of stuff, and that just made a feeding frenzy when it came back. You know what I mean?
Everyone was hungry for more.
Right. Even people that hadn't touched Fortnite in a year or two are like, oh, I got to check out this season 2, see what it's all about.
Yeah, brought in fishing and a new map. And
Carrying your teammates, right?
Chucking them down the mountain.
Jesus. I saw some great clips of people being thrown to their death.
That's amazing. Good for you, Fortnite. You win the internet.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about another game that made someone's list. Chocolate, we can go over to you. And, what do you got?
Have a guess. Call of Duty.
There you go.
All right, it is on someone's list. Woo!
Ooh, and I'm going to mic drop it. God, so the game, I love it. Love the whole thing. Finished the campaign, and this is the very first game, I think, that has, for me, transitioned kind of game to movie. Do you know how you sit and watch a movie and you feel those emotions as you're watching that film? This is what this game did for me. There was all types of emotions that
You
were
cried,
running
didn't you?
through. Like a little girl.
That's no different than
Who
any
lost
other
her
Saturday
bicycle.
night, though, is it, Chocolate?
Well, that's true, but this one hurt me in the feels. The campaign is outrageous. I can't spoil it, but there are three certain moments. One, you're in London. It's very dark. You're going through clearing a room. Made me feel uneasy. Another one where you are going through your night mission and you've got your goggles, and I swear to God, Risky mentioned this a good few podcasts ago, it looks real. The way the guys are
It
moving,
looked like helmet cam footage, dude.
oh my God, it really makes you feel uneasy. And the other one, there's an interrogation scene which gives you the option to leave.
You should have left, huh, Bear?
Do you know, I kind of want to go back and try and see what happens.
You can't.
But
I'm pretty sure he forces you into the room.
oh,
Yeah.
lovely. That would annoy me even more. But the story was superb. And then you go on to the multiplayer, which people only play COD 4, and that is tight. It's brilliant. It's addictive. As I said, play 2v gunfight mode with Sweeney last night. The whole thing is just, blows my mind. Love it. Absolutely love it. And that's from someone who was kind of on the fence with Blackout.
Did you get into any of the Spec Ops stuff?
Haven't done Spec Ops yet. Haven't touched it.
Read or heard somewhere that it continues the story or kind of ties some loose ends together for you, but I haven't checked it out yet.
Yeah. So I've heard the same thing. I believe it kind of just drops you in a few bits in the story, or as you say, ties up some loose ends, or you continue on. I think it's like a continuation onto the
like an epilogue
where the
type
new
deal.
game is going to be. Yeah. But yeah, I haven't touched it, and I don't know whether I will, only because multiplayer is so addictive at the moment.
It's
and
hard.
that's what's keeping me away from Apex.
Yeah, because the last game mode that you were on too automatically loads when you load up the game, so you've got to basically quit out of it to load up something else. And all you gotta do is push enter match, and then you're hooked for the next 4 or 5 hours, just trying to level up. And, get that kill death ratio higher than 0.67 or whatever mine is at the moment.
Mine was dreadful the other night. I was playing with Roden, and he was like 2.7. Oh my God!
Good Lord!
Yeah, he's a beast.
He is.
But
unreal.
Chocolate, you did work to those walls, didn't you, buddy?
Listen, those boys will carry me to victory.
Yeah, and those walls didn't stand a chance.
No. I got a couple of good kills. I missed the wall a few times and actually
Somebody
nailed
got in the
someone.
way of your bullets.
Exactly, they ran into him.
Why did you run out in front of my gun?
Stupid, man, stupid. But yeah, love it. Love it. So that
I said I'd say it's probably one of the better titles this year, especially for shooters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm just curious as to how this would have fared on my list if it dropped with a battle royale. Would that being the main sticking point for me with the last Call of Duty?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, if this had it, would this be my crack at the
You
moment?
wouldn't
Would
be
I have
playing
ever
Destiny
left?
at all.
Right. So it's crazy how it's something they need to release it, and we all know it's there.
Right?
It just needs to
It's
come
been
out.
data mined. Like,
Yeah, all those the spec op missions you were talking about. Apparently, a lot of those are part of the battle royale map, as well as the conquest maps, or whatever they're called. Yeah,
you got it.
I'm still surprised you haven't finished the campaign. It's short. Like I said, the story is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing.
yeah, I got to get through it, and I definitely will. I just didn't, and I don't know if finishing that campaign would have
Changed it for you.
pushed onto my list.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Either way, definitely the best shooter I've played this year. So there's that.
It's up there. Yes, sir.
Faux show. All right, we are done with community top fives. So
I think
we will throw out our last gaming award of the night. What is it?
This one's pretty much a no-brainer. So we're just going to throw this to our favorite guy. Mario's Favorite Brother Award. You know, this has got to be our guy, right? The guy in green. Bear, who's the winner?
Luigi.
Oh, no.
Luigi can't even win an award in his own game? Oh, man.
Hell no.
How do you get snubbed?
Dude, was he
again?
adopted or something?
He had to have been.
Such a terrible, terrible brother.
Nothing else explains it.
Poor
And
guy.
Luigi's really gross, so that says a lot about Mario, too.
I got to play some Luigi's Mansion, huh?
Yes, sir. Download it. It's a lot of fun.
Will
It's
do.
actually,
So,
it's while we're here, it's on my my honorable mentions, but I'd like to chat about it just a little bit. It's a great, fun little game. I wish it would have come out earlier in the year. It was first week in December or something like that. So
yeah, it has not been out very long.
it's kind of under the radar too, but it is really fun. And I've only touched the story part of it, and I hear all the multiplayer games in it in the Scream Carnival. I can't remember what they call it, but it's a ghost themed like carnival and amusement park type deal. And I guess the multiplayer games in that are so fun. So made honorable mention for me this year, but I suggest everybody check it out because it's a good. I'd say Pokemon came out this year, so I can't say it's the best Nintendo first party exclusive this year because somebody probably firebombed my house, but it's up there for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely saw some people saying this was like low-key game of the year for a lot of people.
Right.
So,
and it's safe for everybody. You don't have to worry about somebody walking in the room and seeing something they're not supposed to, or
even when
watching you
Luigi's
kill
out
somebody's kid in night vision. Right there.
I wasn't going to spoil anything. I have learned my
You
lesson.
had a choice, Bear. You didn't have to shoot somebody's child.
this got dark real quick after talking about how family-friendly of a game this is.
No, we're talking about Call of Duty right now, but yeah, Luigi's Mansion. The whole family can play. I don't know, can't say enough good things about it, but it didn't make my top 5.
Right. They can't all make it, right?
Unfortunately, no. And like I said earlier, it was 40 titles that I didn't finish all the games. Shame on me, but
Because that's impossible,
Right.
as we've talked about.
yeah. But
Maybe next year we'll do top 40s then, if you guys want.
yeah, I do have one more game in my top 5 that we haven't talked about though.
So do I.
Wow.
Who wants to go first?
You go.
I got.
You go.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, you go.
And I know this won't be on anyone's list. And it is another Switch game. Cabo talked about it earlier. It was his game of the year. It did make my top 5. Fire Emblem, 3 Houses. I wish I could actually have a conversation with one of you about it.
I started
but
it
I can't.
at one point sometime. There's a lot of dialogue. I know that.
Damn it. Yes, there's a ton of dialogue. If you've played a Fire Emblem game, you know what you're getting as far as like the combat goes. Not a ton of that has changed.
It's all turn-based, right?
So it's a turn-based, grid-based
Yeah.
strategy game.
Right.
I want to say, because you're not like three dudes lining up on opposite sides of a screen and attacking each other. It's you making strategic
squares.
moves, right, and getting into position, taking your shots, that kind of stuff. The actual game itself, it's broken down into the combat that I was just talking about, and then when you're not doing, it's like a monthly battle. It's like it pushes the story forward. When you're not doing that, you are a teacher at the Garrigmach Monastery. Think of it as like Hogwarts, I guess, except for you're not teaching witchcraft and wizardry. You're teaching sword skills and bows and that kind of stuff. You're prepping your army throughout the month to take on this battle at the end of the month. Some things that you can do while you're there. The one nice thing they do is they lay out your month schedule for you. So it puts up like a calendar, and you can tell exactly what's going to happen on what days. So say that maybe a story beat, which will be a battle, will show up on like the third Saturday or Sunday, whatever day it is, of the month. You know that you're going to want to do that. So maybe to prepare for that, you go to the monastery, teach some of your soldiers, your students. They're kind of the same thing at that point. You might want to train them up a little bit and then go out. You can also just roam around Garrigmach. You can talk to all the different students, all the different teachers, and you just get a lot of good dialogues going. You get to learn a lot about each character. The one thing I didn't mention earlier is that very early in the game, you get to a point where you have to choose one of three houses. And each house is going to have the 7 or 8 students that are going to be different. They're all going to have varying personalities, different backstories, all of that. And when you pick a house, that's those are the people that you're going to be dealing with throughout the whole game, essentially. You're going to be learning the story arcs of all of these characters. You're going to get, and I can say this from first-hand experience, you're going to get super attached to a lot of these characters.
Is it permadeath?
And that's the thing. You can play it on classic mode. Classic mode makes it so if somebody dies, they're dead. Out of the story for the rest of your 70, 80-hour gameplay session. It's nuts.
So how early in do you have to choose your house? Do you get enough information from everybody if you choose? Do you have to go around and talk to everybody in order to make that decision? Or
yeah, in my opinion, you can get a decent amount of knowledge before you get to make the choice. For me, it was definitely going to YouTube, and people had
tell you, this is the advantages of this house. This is
or even like here's like a minute clip of what each student is like, or something like that. But I don't know. Better like this game has done something better than any game that I've ever played, where it's made me care about a handful of characters, where if they're like in a battle or something, because you're their teacher, you're their mentor, you're the person that taught them to do these things, and like you chose how to level them and whatnot, if they do well or excel in a certain area that you pushed them towards, it's kind of like, I did that, you're good at whatever you're doing because of me.
It's like
and
your kid. You're watching your kid perform and
dude, 100%. I'm just prepping myself for childhood. This has to be. This
no,
has to be close.
No. It'll be nothing but disappointment.
No?
Trust me.
I should just stick with Fire Emblem games and not have kids.
Nah, you just got to see the humor and everything, and then you get ready for kids.
But yeah, so I mean, throughout while you're doing all these things, your characters will bond together. Like if they're battling close together, it might level up their support, I think it's called. Or if you can have dinner with a certain amount of characters, and then like that group of characters will become closer, like friendship wise. There's not a lot of the old Fire Emblem games had romancing as a thing. Like the last one I played before this, I think it was called Awakening, and you would actually like, it's kind of weird, but you would pick like couples and they would get married, and if you got the supports high enough, they'd have kids, and then the kids would eventually fight in your army with you. With this game, that's not a thing. So all the dialogue you're getting and all the stories, I feel like they're richer and deeper than just like a weird like hookup story kind of thing.
Why do they have to put dating simulators in games? Like, who cares?
Right.
I gotta apologize. My neighbors have a hound dog or something apparently. So yeah, he's just going to town outside.
No, you're fine. But yeah, man, I can't say enough good things about Fire Emblem. And even I can't be. I think I'm 30 something hours through it, and I haven't even hit like what I've heard is like a halfway point where there's like a jump in time to when all the kids have aged and are older, and then you have all that story to play after that.
Right. I heard each house story is like 70 or 80 hours long, right? So if you wanted to play all 3 houses, you're looking at almost, 200 hours of content?
200-ish hours,
Jeez.
yeah. And that's incredible. That's so much replayability for something that isn't like a live service game or
Right.
something like that.
It's all there on the cartridge, right? So
Yeah, exactly. So it's the thing I'm most invested in is the characters, and they do that really well. The combat, it's just kind of like been a staple of the series. All the games I've played, you know exactly what you're getting out of the combat, and it's the best of its genre.
have you played the mobile Fire Emblem game?
I did play it for a little bit.
So if you don't know if Fire Emblem is for you, is that a good way to maybe check it out without spending any money first?
Yeah, sure. What I was gonna say is it felt like too dumbed down
Okay.
of Fire
I
Emblem,
gotcha.
so it might actually be a good like first step
Sure.
for like the battles in the mainline games. Some of the terrain and like places you're going are like huge. Where with that one, it was maybe like a 10x10 grid,
Right.
so you couldn't move around a ton, couldn't
That actually,
get advantages from different terrains, that kind of stuff.
the Fire Emblem mobile game is what got me more interested into turn-based RPG games, because if it was turn-based before, I'd just be like, nope, not for me, sorry. But now I downloaded that and started playing it, and started leveling up my characters and all that stuff, and kind of got hooked to it for a month or two, and so now I'm open to a whole new genre of games, which now I played Octopath and all sorts of other little RPGs like that, so I'm happy for it.
Yeah, man, it's a great game, and go Black Eagles, because that's the only house you should be choosing, because they're the best.
I would say something contrary,
Eagles.
but I have no idea what you're talking about, so go Eagles.
Slytherin. Go Slytherin.
All right. So we do have one more game, if I counted correctly. Yes.
Yes, sir.
1, 2,
Unless
5
we've
for
got
chocolate.
overloaders.
Nope. We got a moose.
All
And we
right.
got one more game on our list of 2019.
Yes, sir. Last one in my top 5 that we haven't discussed yet is Borderlands. So it made my top 5.
Look
Surprised-
at you.
I know, right? Yeah.
Wow.
Chaotic would be
I
proud.
know he would. So I had so much fun with this game, and I had a hard time trying to get into. I tried to do it. I bought the Ultimate Remastered Edition of Borderlands, the first one, and I couldn't get into it. It was slow. It was boring. I just was not any fun to me. And then I guess what I should have done was start with 2, because I started that about 6 hours before 3 came out, and basically played it
couldn't wait.
right up to drop day. Yeah, and had so much fun with it, and went straight into 3, and basically didn't play another game until I got to the final boss, and that's where I'm at.
You've been at the final boss for like 3 months.
Literally, because I played the whole game solo, and I can't beat that boss by myself. So, and I don't want, I don't like putting people out. So I don't say, hey, you want to play a game with me real quick, just so I can finish it. So,
I guarantee you that Soccer Craig and Chaotic
and Scottman and
Scottman's also
Scottman.
playing it.
all those
Dude, they would
guys.
love to get you through it. So I'm calling you 3 out. You need to get Moose through this game. He's right at the
I'm
end.
literally right there.
Help him cross
I'm
the finish
fighting
line.
the female twin sister, which I think is the last boss fight.
If not, it's got to be close.
Right. So,
I don't remember, but yeah, I had a ton of fun with this game as well. It's definitely an honorable mention game for me. The amount of loot is just something that I'm so down with.
and the story, like the writing in it is great. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I definitely didn't laugh at a game more than this one.
Right.
100%.
Good. That's right, Bear.
It did nail it. I think he cut out.
Yeah, I didn't know what he said.
Yep, he's gone.
He must have touched that microphone cord, huh?
He touched the microphone cord. Now he's gone forever.
Oh well.
Uh,
It was a nice run, Bear.
it's fun while it lasts.
So yeah, I was surprised to have it in my top 5, but I could wipe the smile off my face for 6 weeks, so it couldn't not be there, right?
Yeah, I played the game pretty much straight through, with all sorts of different people at different times. That was one thing the game did really, really well. The drop in, drop out,
Right, the leveling
is the
scales.
best in
No
games
doubt.
for sure.
'Cause even unfortunately, you could play ahead in the story, so it could spoil things for you. If you were playing with somebody that was a higher level as you, as we may
you sure could.
know.
Yeah, I was there.
And but it scales to every level. So even if you jumped in playing the game and whoever you're playing with is at the last boss fight, you'll start out at level 1 and fight the boss at level 1.
Yeah, and that's great for people who like wanted multiple characters and stuff too.
Right.
If you blasted through the game and somebody else was like halfway through, you could just pick up a new character, like one of the 4 classes,
Right.
And just go at it again, and just no issues, dude. It was so smooth. I didn't have a bad experience linking up with friends to play that game. Yeah, they did real well with it for sure.
They vetted it out, as far as the matchmaking and the multiplayer aspects of that game. Because I don't remember any crashing. I don't remember any glitches. I don't remember anything like that. Do you guys?
I don't. The thing that's sticking in my head at the moment with Borderlands is how they keep trying to drag you. I say try to drag you back in is the wrong word, but how they're pushing these your keys, your vault keys, your mercenary heads, everything.
Right.
These last couple of weeks, I've just seen shift code upon shift code upon shift code just dropping almost every day.
And I'm gonna keep turning them in, even if I'm not playing at the moment.
And that's been happening since a week or two before launch? No, actually, it started in July. The shift codes they started dropping for Borderlands 3, and like you said,
get all them golden keys.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like 100, I'm sure by now, and I still haven't finished the game. It's,
right. Just keep stashing it away in your little winter chest there, Bear.
100%. This is one of my honourable mentions, and so was the Division 2. Both these games just...
Right,
I
the
couldn't...
loot and shoot kings, right?
Yeah, well, I'm not a massive loot and shoot person, but Borderlands, always, the writing is, as you guys have mentioned, top-notch.
Right.
And the Division, I don't know, I've had a soft spot for the Division since Division 1, so...
And just the creativity in Borderlands as far as what they come up with for guns. One gun, a whole gun line that when it runs out of ammo, you throw it and it becomes a grenade or a heat-seeking missile, or
And if you have certain ones, the first time I think I was playing with Bacon Cheeseburgers from the community, and he was like, "Is your gun laughing at me or making noise?" I had thrown my gun and he was like, "Oh, it was ouch." I think it was saying ouch. So like every time it hit the ground before it exploded, it was like ow, 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 and then it just exploded. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Right.
It's so good.
They definitely don't take themselves too seriously, and they bring a lot of things from pop culture into the game,
Oh, yeah.
Right. And they took the pinging system like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Didn't they also have a unlimited slide like in Apex as well?
Yeah, if you were on a hill, you could slide for
If you were on a hill?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was something else I noticed.
I missed that one.
And also they had like slide perks. Like at one point when I would slide, it would shoot like flaming wheels that if it hit an enemy, they would explode.
Yes. Yes, every time you slid, they'd pop out and fire at people.
It's like they had just like a bunch of 8-year-old boys in the room, and they're just like, okay, what would be super cool? And they just made a list of like a million things. Like, there's our game. We're good to go.
Yeah.
We are done.
Nice shout. I like it.
Cool.
That's a good one. All right, so now it's time to put these in order. We obviously just talked about them there. We shared a lot of the same games. But for those people that love lists and want to know exactly what the orders were, Moose, what was your order starting from 5 going to 1?
I'm going to break the rules and start with a couple honorable mentions first. So,
All
like
right.
I said earlier, Luigi's Mansion, check that out. The only reason it didn't make my list is because I started playing it last week. Another honorable mention, and you guys in the UK are going to kill me, but my favorite sports game this year was NBA 2K20.
Ah, boo.
I know, sorry.
That was your therapy game.
It was it was. Anytime I got too worked up in the Dark Souls games or got too scared in Control, I just, put on a nice, easy game with the Denver Nuggets, and the Moose would drop 40 on somebody and feel better about myself. So that's an honorable mention. My last honorable mention goes out to Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch. I know we all hit it pretty heavy and then hit a wall. and never went back.
Doctor Strange, you son of a bitch.
But that game was so much fun. Just all the Marvel hype and being able to play, 30 or 40 different characters from Marvel, and all the power
probably
ups.
even more now, right?
Yeah, they're dropping DLC characters like every 2 or 3 months. So that's my honorable mention. Let's start out with the top 5 now. Number 5, Katana Zero. Number 4 is going to be Shadowkeep. Number 3, I have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Number 2, Link's Awakening. And yes, chaotic. Number 1, Borderlands 3.
Yeah! Woo!
Yes.
So there's my
All
top
right.
5, boys.
Been a good year. Bear,
Yeah.
let's hear your list.
Right, I'm going with 2 honourable mentions. Borderlands 3, Division 2. Could have got in there, but here we go. Right, 5, Gears 5. 4, Katana Zero. 3, it's Apex Legends. 2, the Star Wars. Numero uno, of course, it's COD.
Hey, all right. I don't know if I would have guessed one was your COD. COD was your one.
COD is my babe.
That's what he's been
COD is your
playing.
bae.
His Bay, yeah, for sure.
COD is Bay.
For now. But, Bear, he's got a flavor of the week.
You've got to keep your fingers in many, many pies.
Get your fingers
Uh-oh.
in places again, Bear.
Yeah.
That must be another thing that doesn't
Yeah,
translate well.
that's not a thing here.
Oh.
I love you so much. All right. My top 5 for the year. My 2 honorable mentions. Division 2, that was a last minute snub because I didn't know if we were doing DLC. Once we were doing DLC, I was sold.
Yeah.
Division 2 and Borderlands 3 for sure. Number 5 for me, Shadowkeep. 4, Katana Zero. 3, Control. 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Number 1, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for me.
The more I learn about you, the more Star Wars nerd I find out, right?
You'll come to love me eventually, Moose.
Yeah, I know. I thought, you just scratched the surface on Star Wars, but I think it goes deep with you, like my wife.
Maybe.
It's
we
a
can
really
talk
good
about
game,
it sometime.
though. It's,
I loved it. I think that's the thing. If Star Wars didn't take place in Star Wars, it would have got beat out by some stuff.
Yeah.
But having that coating of Star Wars, it's tough to not sell me on that.
I can't blame you for that one. So I think we all have some pretty good top 5s this year. And like I said, when I went out to do my research for my top 5, I thought this was a down year in gaming, but it wasn't. There were some great games.
After you sit down and actually talk about it, it's like, hey, it wasn't that bad, was it?
It wasn't bad at all.
And that's not, like, to be fair, there's a ton of games I'm sure we didn't get to play. I started Death Stranding, didn't get far enough through it to put it on the list, I guess. Man of Medan, I haven't touched yet. The Resident Evil 2 remake, I haven't touched yet. Like, there's so many games out there.
Yeah. Tons of games.
It's tough. And we
didn't even scratch the surface on that are winning awards other places that, kind of perks your interest and says, oh, wait, why? Maybe I shouldn't have missed this one. Kind of like Control, right?
Exactly. Or Sekiro, maybe.
Yeah, well.
If it wasn't the hardest game in the world, I would have liked it more.
Yeah, I should probably just go ahead and buy another copy of that, huh?
No, you'll get it back.
You'll never
I'll keep
beat
playing
that
it.
game.
I might get through like one more boss or something. We'll see. Anyways, shout out to everyone that contributed, participated, whatever, for this Game of the Year episode. You guys are great.
Yeah, we love the community engagement. It's key to our success.
Yeah, and if this is something that you think you might be interested, the next time around, just keep it in mind. And when we send out a memo about it, hit us up, get yourself in here.
Right.
We love hearing from you guys. And even if you weren't part of this episode, hit us up on Twitter or in Discord. Let us know what your top 5 games of the year are. I'm always super interested to hear everyone's games. Like Dauntless was a number 1 game. I heard that.
Yeah, it's strange.
I heard some mobile games on some lists. Like we're all over the place, and I love it.
But it's all games.
All games all the time.
So
love it
also,
so much.
I didn't talk to you guys about this, but if anybody's passionate about a game coming up or anything that's coming out this year, or think you'd be a good guest host and have a decent microphone and the time to do it, let us know, because we're always looking for more guest hosts and better ways to make content.
Not that we don't love the ones that we have.
No doubt.
We want a nice big pool of people.
That's right. And I think that's what we want to kind of focus on next year is if you're super passionate about a game that's coming out, or, kind of how chaotic was with Borderlands. Unfortunately, it didn't work out with his schedule this year because he was
in my neck of the woods.
Yeah, when the game was released. But, if you're super stoked about a game or know a whole bunch of information about something that you could teach us something, please let us know.
Hit us up.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Definitely.
thank you to everyone. I'm not going to even plug this show up, really, because you guys know where we're at if you tuned into this episode.
Right.
You're the best. We have links for everything down in the show notes. If you want to get a hold of me, I'm at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
Chocolate Bear, everywhere.
Moose.
Moosenstein, 8314, all places.
All right. Here's to 2020, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Happy New Year, guys.
2020, baby!
I really love it when they drop the ball in Times Square. It's a nice reminder of what Bear did all year.
Oh.
Just kidding, Bear. You don't drop the ball.
Oh, God.
My friend asked me where I would see myself in the new year. How would I know? I don't have 20/20 vision.
God, where are you getting these?
Oh, wow.
You want more, or you want me to stop?
No, I want you to keep doing it because yeah, you're good.
Let's see. All right, one more. My resolution was to read more, so I put the subtitles on my TV.
And the last one of the year. Knock, knock.
Who dat?
Who's there?
Abby.
Abby who?
Oh, God.
Abby New Year, everybody.
Nice one.
Jesus.